Quiet wealth, the art of living rich without showing it. In today's world of social media and constant display, the idea of wealth has become almost synonymous with visibility. Expensive cars, designer clothes, exotic vacations, and luxury mansions are flaunted online as the ultimate proof of success. But beneath this glittering surface lies another kind of wealth, a quieter, calmer, and far more enduring form of prosperity known as quiet wealth. Quiet wealth isn't loud. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't announce itself with gold watches or lavish parties. Instead, it flows silently, shaping lives in subtle but powerful ways. It's the wealth of those who are financially free but emotionally grounded, those who have mastered the art of balance between having enough and needing less. Let's explore what quiet wealth truly means, how it's built, what it looks like, and why it's becoming the ideal way to live in an age of noise and excess. The meaning of quiet wealth. Quiet wealth isn't about how much you have. It's about how little you need to prove it. At its core, quiet wealth is the combination of financial independence and emotional contentment. It means having enough resources to live life on your terms, without the pressure to impress anyone or keep up appearances. Quiet wealth focuses on freedom, not fame. A quietly wealthy person may not look rich. They might drive an ordinary car, live in a modest home, and wear simple clothes. But beneath that simplicity lies stability, security, and a deep sense of peace. Their wealth isn't measured by possessions. It's measured by control over their time, choices, and emotions. Quiet wealth is about living well, not living loud. The rise of loud wealth. To understand quiet wealth, we first need to understand what it stands against: the culture of loud wealth. Modern society rewards visibility. From Instagram influencers to YouTube millionaires, wealth has become a performance. We see people chasing material symbols of success: luxury watches, private jets, and designer labels. Not necessarily because they bring joy, but because they bring attention. But attention is fleeting, and the constant need to be seen as successful creates stress, comparison, and emptiness. This phenomenon is often called the rat race of luxury. People spend money they don't have on things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. It's a cycle of appearances, a game of who looks richer, not who actually lives richer. Quiet wealth rejects this entire mindset. It's not about signaling wealth, but about building stability and peace behind closed doors. The core principles of quiet wealth. There are a few timeless principles that define the quietly wealthy. A. Financial independence over flashiness. The quietly wealthy value freedom more than fame. Their goal isn't to own everything, but to own nothing. They prioritize saving, investing, and living below their means. Instead of buying the latest gadgets or luxury cars, they invest in assets that appreciate: stocks, real estate, or businesses. They know that financial independence isn't about earning a lot. It's about keeping and growing what you earn. B. Privacy and discretion. Quiet wealth thrives on privacy. The quietly wealthy don't need validation from others, so they rarely broadcast their success. They prefer modesty over recognition, discretion over display. They understand that peace of mind is the ultimate luxury, and privacy protects that peace. C. Simplicity is the cornerstone of quiet wealth. The quietly wealthy design their lives to minimize stress. Fewer things, fewer obligations, fewer distractions. They choose quality over quantity, meaning over excess. Their homes are comfortable but not extravagant. Their clothes are timeless, not trendy. They find joy in the simple, lasting pleasures of life: time with family, meaningful work, a morning walk, or a quiet cup of coffee. D. Long-term thinking. While loud wealth focuses on instant gratification, Quiet wealth is built on patience and discipline. Quietly wealthy people think decades ahead. They understand the power of compounding, not just of money, but of habits. They save consistently, invest wisely, and let time do the heavy lifting. They don't chase quick wins or risky bets. They play the long game. Emotional intelligence. Quiet wealth isn't only financial, it's also emotional. It means being calm in chaos, grateful in abundance, and content in simplicity. The quietly wealthy aren't easily swayed by trends or envy. They have mastered emotional control, a wealth that money can't buy. The mindset behind quiet wealth. The foundation of quiet wealth lies in mindset. Quietly wealthy people see money as a tool, not a trophy. They don't attach their identity to possessions or status. Instead, they focus on using money to build freedom, not attention. They ask themselves, does this purchase make my life better or just louder? Am I buying this because I want it or because others have it? What will this mean in 10 years? This mindset keeps them grounded. They understand that wealth is a means to an end, the end being a life of peace, purpose, and independence. They also recognize that real wealth isn't always visible. It's the calmness in knowing your bills are paid, your future is secure, and your life aligns with your values. Quiet wealth is internal before it's external. Building quiet wealth. The process. Quiet wealth isn't an accident. It's built intentionally, step by step. Here's how quietly wealthy people usually create it. A. Living below their means. This is the golden rule. Quietly wealthy people spend less than they earn, no matter how much they make. They avoid lifestyle inflation, the trap where higher income leads to higher expenses. They find satisfaction in enough. Once their needs are met, extra money goes into investments, not image. B. Investing consistently. Quiet wealth grows silently through compounding. The quietly wealthy don't chase quick riches. They invest steadily in stocks, index funds, mutual funds, real estate, or businesses, letting time multiply their efforts. They understand that wealth grows in silence, but reveals itself in time. Avoiding debt is the enemy of quiet wealth. The quietly wealthy use credit wisely and avoid unnecessary borrowing. They know that freedom is impossible if you're living paycheck to paycheck under the weight of loans. Their goal is simple: own assets, not liabilities. D. Prioritizing health and relationships. What's the point of wealth if you're too stressed to enjoy it or too lonely to share it? Quietly wealthy people invest in their health, relationships, and peace of mind. They exercise, eat well, and spend quality time with loved ones. They value meaningful experiences over material excess. Lifelong learning. The quietly wealthy are lifelong learners. They read, explore, and improve themselves constantly. They understand that knowledge compounds faster than money. They don't just build financial wealth, they build intellectual and emotional wealth. The hidden power of quiet wealth. The most powerful thing about quiet wealth is security without stress. When you have quiet wealth, you don't worry about emergencies. You don't depend on others for survival. You can say no to things that don't align with your values. You can spend time how you want, with whom you want, doing what you love. Quiet wealth gives you the ability to live life on your terms. And that's the truest definition of success. It's not about retiring early or owning mansions. It's about being able to sleep peacefully at night, knowing your future is safe and your present is meaningful. Examples of quiet wealth in real life. Think of Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. Despite his billions, he still lives in the same modest home he bought in 1958. He doesn't flaunt his wealth, he lets it work silently. Or consider people like Chuck Feeney, the co-founder of duty-free shoppers, who secretly donated over $8 billion to charity while living a simple, frugal life. These individuals remind us that wealth doesn't need to shout. It can whisper and still be powerful. But quiet wealth isn't limited to billionaires. Many middle-class families, teachers, or small business owners quietly build wealth through discipline, savings, and patience. They might not make headlines, but they build legacies for their children and communities. The emotional side of quiet wealth. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy peace, if used wisely. Quiet wealth nurtures emotional security. When you live below your means and save for the future, you remove a huge source of stress. You stop worrying about bills, debts, or losing a job. You start focusing on what truly matters: family, purpose, and joy. It also helps you escape the comparison trap. You no longer measure your worth by what others own. You find happiness in your own progress, not in someone else's possessions. And most importantly, quiet wealth allows you to give, not to show off, but to help. Giving becomes an act of kindness, not a performance. Quiet wealth as a way of life. Quiet wealth isn't just a financial strategy, it's a philosophy of life. It teaches us that true richness comes from simplicity, gratitude, and independence. In a loud world that equates luxury with success, quiet wealth brings us back to what really matters: peace, purpose, and presence. It encourages us to spend intentionally, save consistently, invest patiently, live humbly, enjoy quietly. Quiet wealth is freedom without fanfare. It's luxury without noise. It's happiness without needing approval. Why quiet wealth matters now more than ever. In our fast-paced digital world, mental health issues, burnout, and financial anxiety are rising. People are exhausted from trying to look successful. Quiet wealth offers an antidote. It's the path of sustainability and sanity. It teaches restraint in a world of excess and mindfulness in a world of distraction. The quietly wealthy don't chase trends, they build systems. They don't seek followers, they seek freedom. And they don't crave attention, they crave inner peace. Quiet wealth isn't about having it all. It's about having enough and knowing that's enough. The legacy of quiet wealth. The legacy of quiet wealth isn't gold or fame. It's wisdom and stability passed down generations. It's the parents who teach their children to save, to give, to live within their means. It's the person who leaves behind not just assets, but values. Quiet wealth doesn't just change one life, it changes families and communities. It proves that the richest life is often the simplest one. Final thoughts: the beauty of living quietly rich. In the end, quiet wealth isn't just about money. It's about peace, purpose, and freedom. It's the realization that you don't need to be seen to be successful. You don't need to post your car to prove your worth. You don't need a mansion to feel safe. You don't need to compete to be content. Quiet wealth whispers, "I have enough. I am enough." And that, more than any luxury, is the ultimate form of richness. So, while the world chases loud success, choose quiet wealth. Build it slowly, live it humbly, and enjoy it deeply. Because true wealth isn't about how much you show, it's about how peacefully you live.